Oh, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video here from Kuwait City. We're down in the Daher district in the south of Kuwait City itself, and we're here at the Qurain Martyrs Museum. February 24th, 1991, that 19 heroic resistance fighters held out against a large Iraqi force who surrounded the three villas here behind me that the guys have been using as their resistance headquarters. And a huge battle ensued, lasted for 10 hours. The guys fought really heroically. Unfortunately, 12 of them were killed, 7 were survived. I'm not sure if they were captured or they escaped, but and it was a heroic battle on behalf of the Kuwaiti resistance fighters that had been using this building or this series of 3 villas here as their headquarters for the resistance. Now they fought, like I said, heroically, but unfortunately they had to give in to overwhelming firepower that the Iraqis brought down on the building itself. They brought in a T-55 tank, they had RPGs, heavy weapons, and the guys inside only had small arms to try and fight off and the Iraqi force outside. But due to sheer volume of armaments and numbers that surrounded the building, then unfortunately, even though they brought great pride on themselves and they fought heroically, unfortunately they lost out in the end, but they lasted for over 10 hours. And the Kuwaiti resistance fighters should be extremely proud of what happened back behind me here in this building. They were absolutely phenomenal and fought like heroes. So they're called martyrs, and this is the Qurain Martyrs Museum. Unfortunately, it's closed at the moment. We can't get inside, but I really wanted to come and pay my respects and pay a visit to this really important building in regards to the Desert Storm videos that I've been doing and the liberation of Kuwait. So here we are. So let's go and have a look around. So you can see that the building has just been left as it was after the battle, and it's been, as I said, been turned into a museum, but unfortunately it's not actually open at the moment. But we can have a good look around and have a peek through the windows and see what we can see. You can see the amount of destruction that actually took place by the probably tank fire and RPGs. So you can just imagine the fighting that took place here and how the boys actually held out for 10 hours is amazing against an overwhelming firepower. There's a hell of a lot of destruction, and you see a rocket fire here, and obviously this whole front end has probably been blown off by tank fire. So it must have been horrendous, holed up inside there, fighting against overwhelming sort of firepower like that. But we'll go around the side here and have a look, because around the side there's a T-55 tank and some other bits and bobs around the side that we can actually see. And you'll see some more destruction here of the building to actually give you an idea more of what actually happened here. So you can see to the home of the martyr Beda al-Fedim. Can't really read it from here, but might be able to zoom in on the camera. So again, you can see the amount of destruction that actually took place. Obviously they've been using these windows up here as firing points, and that's where they've been hit. Little vehicle here, I'm not sure what that stands for or means, but there might be a plaque somewhere. Again, you can see the inside is all riddled with bullet holes. I take it the windows have actually been probably blown out by tank fire or RPG fire. So you can just imagine the how frightening it must have been to be holed up inside there facing a T-55 tank and RPGs and rockets, and not when you've only got small arms fire or small light weaponry to fight back and protect yourselves. So I believe it's a series of 3 villas, so maybe, yeah, so you can see some more destruction at the top here. So although these 3, I think it's this 1, 2 and 3 at the back, is all part of the same complex. So this was the whole area here that was being used as a safe house for the resistance fighters in this area. So we'll take a walk around the other side as well. But before we do that, we'll just nip across the road. So there's a fuel tank here, is it? I think it's a fuel tank. I think a lot of the plaques and that have been sort of faded over the years. That's a shame. Wish you could preserve it a bit better. But so again, there's no information as to say what this actually sort of stipulates and what part this actually played. But here we've got the T-55. On the plaque it says that it was actually used on the battle itself.
Excuse me.
Hello, mate.
You're a vlogger?
Yes. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You alright?
Alright.
How you doing? You alright? You live here?
Can follow.
You live here? You're home?
Follow what? Follow.
Oh, I came back just to visit.
Follower.
Yeah, to travel. Travelling. Different countries.
This is my friend.
Hi guys, alright. I was here.
You are Arabic or English?
English, British, Scottish.
Where are you from?
Scotlandia. Scotlandia? Scotlander? Scotlander. Scotlander. Yeah.
You're coming. Why are you coming quick?
Because I was here
Yes.
during Gulf War.
You want to see the home?
Let's see this.
Yes.
But I was here when the fighting happened.
Yes.
I was here.
You are fighting here?
Yeah. When I was younger.
And you are with Kuwait or Iraq?
British.
لا, you are with
Brit-
Kuwait or Iraq?
Oh no, Kuwait. British, American.
How are you in the Kuwait? لا شو أقول لك? Enjoy the Kuwait.
Oh, wonderful. I love it. Yeah. شكرا. Yeah. زين.
How do you have followers?
Oh, not many. Small.
How?
Small. I don't know. It's new. I'm new.
You are new but vlogger.
New vlogger. Yeah.
I give you follow.
Oh, okay, good.
What's your
Shocking.
name is Banat?
I'll have to write it down. Have you got I haven't got a pen. It's difficult to explain, but.
Give me. I give
Oh, you got it there.
follow.
Okay. I mean, flies.
Can you?
I'll write it. Yeah.
You TikTok or the YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube. أحس إني شايفه من قبل. I see you. I don't know where, but I see you.
No. I'm new. Very, very new.
أنت
Very flies.
English?
Yeah, English. Yeah.
You know this for the Iraq.
Yeah.
And bro, you are Muslim.
No.
Uh,
Christian. Pardon.
no problem. We are brothers.
Yes. This is me. Yeah.
This?
There we go. Yeah.
I give you one.
Yeah. There's only one because it's new. It's a long story, but
شوف ناجي. شوف شو عندهم تام.
let's see. I don't know if I got.
يلا.
I live in Saudi. Live in Saudi Arabia.
You are Saudi Arabia.
No. Work.
Work Saudi Arabia.
I work in Saudi Arabia.
Can you check me and go the YouTube? You know.
Yeah, we'll do.
I can't speak English and
Very good.
no, I can't. I won't tell you and I can't. I tell you Arabic. Inshallah, you have million followers.
Hopefully.
1 million followers.
Hopefully. Yeah, good. Shukran.
Can you check in the YouTube?
Yeah, I'll put you on there. There you go. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Want me to stand here?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go on the bike? Okay.
Why?
There we go. Kuwait is best. Good. Shukran. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you online. Yeah?
Okay. See you, brother.
See you, brother. See you, mate. Thank you. Shukran. Yeah, we've got another couple of followers on YouTube. Happy little guys. So I'll say the people here are wonderful. They're so happy. And they've never had a single piece of bother or any issue with filming. Everyone's really happy to get on camera and really interested in what you're doing. So it's nice. But the people in Kuwait are just wonderful and lovely. So we're going to head around the back end here. So let's have a look and see what we can see on this side. We see more and more attacks obviously took place on this side. So you can see they've been at it from all sides. Maybe RPG or tank fire up there. But there's must have been like I said, a hell of a battle that took place here. So I think this is the third villa here. There's supposed to be 3 villas. So that is open, so let's see if we can go in and have a quick look through the window. So we can have a quick look inside, really. Won't be able to get inside the building itself, but the gate was open, so let's see what we can actually see in here. Oh, a cat. So yeah, so you can see like under the hole there in the wall. I'm not sure if that's been, you know, rocket attack or whether it's actually been a port that's been chiseled out for firing. But yeah, you can imagine what it must have been like to be in here. The walls are actually really thick, so they must have been really well protected as well. Obviously wouldn't stand a tank around. The noise and the carnage and the small arms fire, RPGs, rockets, tank fire. Must have been horrendous for the guys inside. I think it was well worth a visit. It's an important piece of the history here during the war. And it's very far south, but I really wanted to come down and see the building itself. You can see all the bullet holes here on the walls. I'm not sure what they've been firing at up there, but they must have been spraying the whole building just with machine gun fire. Take it that's a new window. But it's a museum as well, so obviously it's got administration offices inside. Like I said, this was the headquarters of the local resistance fighters, and they were found by the Iraqis accidentally. I think it was they came to investigate some issues around the building, and nobody answered the door. So one of the Iraqis, I'm told, or Red, actually climbed over the wall to see if he could get a better look inside the building, and that's when he was spotted by the resistance fighters. And one of them shot him dead. Chicken getting a kicking over there, and they shot him dead, and that's when it all kicked off. So yeah, so this is the museum, and like I said, it's a very important part of the history here in Kuwait. It's the Martyrs Museum, and they're classed as heroes, and rightly so, because of the fighting that actually took place here must have been substantial, and they did themselves really proud. So they should be very proud of themselves. size of that cock. Stop it. Like I said, you can see it's still a very normal, active neighbourhood. Life's just going on around it. We've got the mosque there behind us, and you can see it was probably a good place to pick. Quite quiet down here, it's out the way, and it's a big complex. Surprised we don't have any tunnels dug underneath to escape, but maybe it wasn't possible. Maybe at a time, I don't know how long they had this place in operation for. But, yes, I say it's a very quiet residential neighbourhood, so it's probably a good place to pick a resistance headquarters. Out the way, surrounded by the local population, so maybe they could warn people off if there was any forces in the general area coming to have a look. So like I said, unfortunately it's closed at the moment, so you can't actually get inside, but there's a sign on the door around the corner said it was closed for maintenance. So, and it was only, I believe, 4 days before the end of the war that this battle actually took place. So it's unfortunate that they were spotted 4 days before the end, because I'm sure the work they did prior to that was immense. And the relaying of information back to coalition forces, because one of the stories that I read was that one of the guys inside here actually relayed back to the coalition team that the Iraqis were leaving, they were pulling out. So they had a lot of correspondence and liaison with the coalition forces to give them eyes on, which they probably didn't have on the ground at the time inside the city itself. So it was absolutely imperative that these guys were relaying all that information back to the coalition forces to give them real-time information so they could plan accordingly. Very much so like probably the French resistance during the Second World War and other resistance fighters throughout history. You know, there's nothing more valuable than human intelligence on the ground at the time. This area is all tiled, so I don't know if this is maybe like a kitchen area. Quite possibly. It's a big complex. I'm sure there's a lot of, like I said, noise and stuff going on around here, a lot of shouting, screaming. Must have been horrendous to get hauled up inside. No, you're probably not going to escape. It's either death or surrender. If you surrender, you're not getting out, are you? Yeah. So it's unfortunate the museum's closed, but like I said, it was worth a visit, and I think that's about as much as we can do here at the moment. We've seen the villas, we've seen the destruction that's taken place. We've explained a little bit about the battle. I'm not an expert, but we've managed to try and keep it a little bit interesting. I think it was worth a visit. It was only a quick visit, of course, because the museum's closed, but I think it was worth it. It's an interesting place to come and see. Sort of fits in with the theme of the videos that I'm doing here while I'm in Kuwait. So yeah, but I think now we'll have to move on. There's nothing much else we can really see or do here. It's quite a small site, and like I said, the museum being closed, there's only so much filming we can do from the external part, but we'll head back up into the city now and we'll reconnect once I get back into Kuwait. I'll go and get myself a taxi and get a ride back up to the city. So we're going to try and see if we can get up to place called Liberation Tower now, in the heart of the city, and then from there on in, I want to go up to the souk that we were at last night, but didn't get really a lot of time at there last night. I was very tired, and remember, I was hungry as well. But yeah, so I'll head up back to the city now. I think I'm trying to get into, like I said, Liberation Tower, and then we'll head up to the souk and get some food tonight. So thanks guys, that's it from the museum down here in the south of the city, and we'll reconnect once I get back up to the north of the city, up to Liberation Tower. So we shall see you soon.
قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Well, hello again ladies and gents. So I've now relocated back into Kuwait City itself, and as you can see behind me with a big tower sticking at the top of my head, I've actually taken a bit of a rest for this one. I'm sat on a bench while I'm doing this because I'm tired, and also I thought it'd give me a bit of a better view. Now I've turned the camera onto portrait mode, so hopefully we'll still be able to capture as much detail. But so this behind me here is what is now called Liberation Tower. So initially it was going to be called the Kuwait Telecommunications Tower, but again, old Saddam invaded in August 1990, and the construction, which was about halfway through at that stage, stopped until the Iraqi forces were expelled, which actually happened, like we've been talking about today, actually happened today. 27th of February 1991, the Iraqi forces fled across the border. We spoke about that this morning. And then after that, the Kuwaitis got themselves organised again. The construction on the tower reconvened, and eventually it was completed in 1993. And because of the invasion, it was then decided to rename the tower and give it the name of Liberation Tower, to mark the actual liberation of Kuwait from Iraq. So I'll just read these facts off my phone because I'll never remember them. So it's 372 meters high, which is 1,220 feet for you old people like me, and it's the second tallest structure in the country and the 39th tallest building in the world. So the tower is not publicly accessible to tourists. I thought it was, because it said on the internet it was open on Sunday, so closed today. So I'm not sure about that, so check it out, check out the data and check out the details if you're allowed to visit. Don't take my word for it. So it says the tower is not publicly accessible to tourists. However, the complex building attached to the tower houses government offices such as the Communication and Information Regulatory and Information Technology Authority. That's some title. So there we have it. So this is Liberation Tower. I don't think there's much else really to see here. We can take some additional videos and some photographs, but like we can't get up the tower, we can't get inside to get round it and do anything else. But I just thought, again, keeping with the theme of liberation and Desert Storm and the war, etc., which has been the theme of today, I thought after going down to the Martyrs Museum and doing Mutler Ridge this morning, it'd be a fitting place to end today's war stories, or history of the liberation and the war of 1990-91. So yeah, so that's Liberation Tower. The pity you can't get up there. I'm certain, like I said, I read on the internet you can go. I thought there was restaurants and coffee shops up there. Maybe I'm getting confused with another building. But it's a shame. You make a fortune charging people for trips up there. I don't fancy being those guys who climb right to the bloody top to change that light bulb. I know some of these guys in the States are not climb up these massive communication towers, get paid a fortune. I think you've got maybe twice a year to change the bulb. But that is high. As I say, 387 metres. So ladies and gents, that's all we can really do here at Liberation Tower. So it's just nice to come and have a look at it, pay a visit. So now we're going to head off in that direction into the city, back towards the souk, and then see if we can pick up the restaurant that we couldn't manage to get to last night. I was too tired and I wasn't in the right frame of mind. But let's head there tonight and let's see if we can go and get some food. It might be busy because it's Iftar and it's Ramadan. We'll see what we can do. All right, so let's head off. I'll reconnect once we get down that side of the city. Okay, bye.